Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the new Charlotte Tilbury Stars in Your Eyes eyeshadow palette. I've got it right here. I'm going to be doing some swatches for you. We're going to be talking about this palette, what I think about it, and also giving you this demo at the end. So if you're interested in that, then just keep on watching. So here is the limited edition palette from Charlotte Tilbury. It is called Stars in Your Eyes. Here is the box that it came in, and here is the actual palette. It's pretty cool looking. It is that Charlotte Tilbury kind of like oxblood red color, but there's like glitters in the packaging. It's not like glitter sitting on top. It's like in the molding here. And we've got this like nice Art Deco design. And it's nice. It's hard plastic. I think I would prefer her like Film Star Bronze and Glow, that like rose gold kind of packaging. But this is also very, very nice. And then inside you'll see there's like a mirror here. And then we have the 12 shades. So inside the palette, you're going to see this plastic overlay where you see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that basically tells you that the eyeshadows are grouped in 3. So there's 4 different looks, if you will, 3 shadows for each look. On the back of the box here, it tells you how to really quickly create an eye look using the 4 groupings of 3 different shadows. It says first use the number 1 prime shade to prep the eyelid, then blend the number 2 enhanced shade across the lid, and then finish with the number 3 smoke shade, blending into crease line and under the eye. So I think that's really great for anyone who's like a beginner to eyeshadow, because it can be really intimidating if you get an eyeshadow palette. It's like, where do you start? You know, there's so many colors, there's so many different shades, there's so many different textures. And I think 12 shadows is pretty manageable, but that really kind of gets up there again for like a beginner or just someone who's in a rush or someone who just isn't that interested in like, you know, creating like the most unique eye look ever. They just want to look presentable and they don't have a lot of time in the morning. I think this is really, really great of Charlotte Tilbury. And I think she's known to kind of cater to the working woman, the woman on the go, the woman who wants to look as beautiful as she can without putting in that much time and effort, if you will. So I think that's really fantastic that she's like grouped them by look. I use the Confident Eyes today in my demo. That's what I have on my eyes. And I was a little bit like nervous to kind of follow her little formula here, to use this all over the lid, this one on top, and then this one just on the lower lash line and into my crease, because this is the one that is matte. And I usually like to put mattes kind of like all over and then build up with some shimmer. And so this was kind of the opposite for me, but I think it worked out really nicely. I think I got a pretty decent eye look very, very quickly. You're going to see how easy it is. And I've been able to play around with Love Eyes. And I just wanted to see if Love Eyes was like pigmented enough, and it really was. It was almost like the experience I had with her Pillow Talk quad. You know, upon opening that quad, I thought, you know, is this really going to show up? Is there enough range in these shadows where I can get a dimensional eye look? And this one worked out really well. So I had the same sort of reaction to these 3 shades in the Love Eyes shadows. And of course, you can go ahead and mix and match any of these shades. I just think it's really cool that she grouped them for you just to kind of make it a little bit easier. So I think the pigmentation of these shadows are great, and I think they blend really, really nicely. I had issues with her holiday palette from last year. They just didn't work well on my eyes. They weren't very pigmented. They didn't really blend really nicely. It's like if I just wanted to use one of the shadows, it was okay, but they just didn't kind of like play well together. Anyway, I ended up returning that palette because I was really, really disappointed. So I was a little bit wary of this palette, and I'm always wary about holiday palettes too. I feel like companies put out subpar quality products. They put a lot of time and effort, I think, into the packaging. They kind of just want to attract the customer for gift giving. Anyway, so I was worried about this palette in general, and I was just really pleasantly surprised. I think they're lovely. So let me just go ahead and show you the swatches that I did. Here are the Love Eyes swatches. The first shade and the last shade are mattes, and then that middle shade is a nice satin shimmer. And then next, let's take a look at the Power Eyes swatches. And there are no mattes in this grouping. There are 2 shimmers, the first and the third, and then the middle shade is like a shimmer base, but it also has like little micro glitters in there. And then the Happy Eyes grouping, this grouping is really nice if you're into like warmer eye look. So the first shade is a shimmer shade, and then the second and third shades are matte shades. And then last, we have Confident Eyes, and we have actually all 3 different formulas in here. So the first one is the shimmer base with the micro glitters in there. The second shade is just the shimmery formula. And then the third one is a matte formula. And then here is a look at all 12 shades together. So all of these shades I find to be really beautiful, really easy to work with, and I really enjoyed playing around with this palette. So if you're interested in watching me apply the Confident Eyes eyeshadows, then just keep on watching. All right, so I'm gonna be using the Confident Eyes shades. That's the last set over here. They have kind of like a berry tone to them. So I'm gonna follow her instructions kind of exactly. You're supposed to use the prime shade all over your lid. Then you're supposed to go into the enhanced shade, kind of blend that in where you want a little bit more depth. And then you're supposed to use this shade to kind of give it a little bit more dimension, add it to your crease, maybe your lower lash line. I'm gonna start with my Sonia G Worker 1 brush, and I'm gonna go into that first shade, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. This is a very micro glittery, shimmery kind of shade. This isn't a satin. This is definitely like micro glittery. So next I'm going to use the enhanced shade, which is number 2. I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush. I'm going to focus this on the outer portion of my lid and just work it in, give myself a little bit of dimension here. And this shade is a little bit more just satiny as opposed to micro glittery. I'm just going to take a cleanish blending brush. Let me clean this off a little bit and blend the edges of these two shadows. And then lastly, I'm going to take my Sonia G Pencil 1 brush. I'm going to go into this smoke shade, and I'm going to do what she says on the back of the box. I'm going to blend it into the crease line and under the eye. I'm just taking a little bit on my brush. I'm definitely going to put some under my eye here. And I'm going to take some up just onto the outer corner here and deepen up the V area. Again, I'm going to take my blending brush and just go over that a little bit, soften it. So that's it for the eyeshadow. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my look, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just finished off my look with some eyeliner, mascara. I put on the Charlotte Tilbury Confession lipstick, which is one of the newer lipsticks from her that actually the newest lipstick I've purchased from her, and it's like my favorite nude of hers. It's so good. So that's what I have on my face. I will link to all the products that I have on down below in my description box, as I usually do. I really enjoy this palette. I think the color selection is really great. I love how she always lays things out easily for you, for the busy working woman who doesn't have time to sit there and like blend shadows out for days and like pick different eyeshadows. She just has them laid out really nicely for you. There's like a beautiful range here between like warms and neutrals and something a little bit cooler. And I love that there's enough mattes, but there's also plenty of shimmers in here, which makes this a really great kind of holiday palette. You can kind of come up with some nice shimmery, glittery kind of eye looks for holiday parties. Anyway, I think this palette's a lot of fun. I think she did a great job. I think the formula is wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe before you leave. And don't forget to enter my giveaway, which is open until this Friday, October 5th, if I remember correctly. Anyway, the information is down below. I will see you guys in my next video.